Hi everyone. So I am uploading traffic videos on Facebook and Instagram as we speak. They are already on YouTube and TikTok. There's a couple of them. Um, it was a busy morning, so I wasn't able to do as many as usual. Um, today I did go to one of the resources in Chelsea to see if I could get a monthly bus pass. Um, and it doesn't look like they have that available. Um, Looks like they just have like a discount, like, you know, for low income people that they can get it for half price, um, which would help, but not enough, because, you know, I don't have a home. It would be different if I was someone who went out once in a while, but I have to go out all the time. And, you know, I'm eligible for it. They'll give it to me, but it's only half price. So I think for me, like if I got some money and like I bought a weekly pass, like a weekly pass of like unlimited, that would be better than just putting money in a card because that ends up being like so much money, even with reduced price. Just because I don't have my car anymore, driving back and forth. Um, I'm not able to drive back and forth, so now I have to take buses back and forth from the library um, to the supermarket. And that's why I chose Lynn Library because they're close to Market Basket in Lynn. So that makes it easier for me to get food and everything. And, you know, and I always had to prioritize food because um, I know what it's like to go a day or two without eating and how painful that is. And I don't want to go through that. I just want to be able to buy food like a very, basic necessity. And I have some money right now to buy food, but it's not much. But I'm trying to stretch it out as much as I can. Um, so, um, what else? I mean, I really hope that this will be over soon. I mean, tomorrow, it's October 1st, you know? I can't even believe it, I really can't. Um, and I'm still in this dangerous, inhumane situation, which has become more dangerous and more inhumane because I don't have a car, you know? And it's like it's so dangerous. Um, like today, I was getting off the bus to go to the library, and you know, when I'm on the bus, I try to get out of there as quickly as possible. Now, right now, I have a suitcase, and I have just a bag, a Market Basket plastic bag where I put my laptop in with the laptop bag. It makes it easier to carry. And so when I get out of the bus, I gotta grab the suitcase, the bag, and Ross. Because now Ross goes with me everywhere. And I'm rushing, you know, and I'm pulling Ross's leash. I'm like, come on, Ross, let's go, because I get frustrated. But, um, but I wasn't like yelling. That's how I always redirect him. I'm just like, come on, let's go, you know. And some guy who I didn't know, a complete stranger, never seen the guy in my life, never even looked at the guy before, white supremacist was like, oh, look at the way you're treating him, and kind of like instigating something. And I just was like I didn't say too much to the guy, but I said I treat him fine. You know, he's a good dog, something along those lines. And then I called him a white supremacist because who would approach me like that? You know, someone only looking for problems. Because all I was doing was getting off the bus with my stuff and a tiny dog. So yeah, I called him that. And I did. And they're like shocked when I call them that. I'm like, I know it's dangerous. I know they're dangerous. Um, but like, when I get to that point, I will say who they are. White supremacists. Like, stop attacking me. You don't know who I am, And all I'm doing is trying to get off this bus with my dog. And like, you know, and that's scary. Like I'm this person, this woman riding a bus with a tiny dog, a Hispanic woman, that at any moment it could be a target of a hate crime. And there's so many people that would help me, willing to help me, so that I can get out of this inhumane, dangerous situation and not be harassed on a bus by a random stranger, you know? And I always have to like watch my back. Now even more because I don't have my car, and then I have Ross with me, and his service dog vest. Last week I misplaced it. It just like I think it fell off of him when he was wearing it. I didn't tighten it tight enough, so now I don't have his vest, and then I have to explain to people he's a service dog, and I try to ask people not to pet him just to kind of avoid anything, avoid conflict or too much interaction with strangers, you know. Um, but it's hard because then people will start problems with you when you have a dog, and want to pet your dog and want to talk about your dog. And when I don't want to talk to people that I don't know, it's very dangerous. And I just, I was in line at the Market Basket Cafe, and they were talking about Ross, and there was a brief conversation and whatever. I was okay talking to people, but I kind of yeah. But then that woman, when I was after I paid and everything, and I was still at the cafe, eating, the same woman who was talking to me about Ross before came up to me while I was eating, asking me to at Ross, and that's when I needed to draw the line. I said, I need my space, you know, because I can't be interacting with people I don't know. Yeah, I try not to talk too much to people. I mean, if there's some small talk that needs to be involved, you know, while I'm in line to buy food, I guess that's fine. But I just have to be so careful, and I don't even understand why this is still going on. This is like absolutely horrendous and ridiculous, and I have to eat, you know. I know that there's a lot of evil racists that don't want me to eat, and that's why I get overcharged for other things, you know. Um, I should have compression stockings. My feet are swollen, and I don't know why they're giving me such a hard time to get compression stockings. That always happens. Um, yeah, so I have to always prioritize food, I was really hoping to get a monthly pass, but maybe if I get some money, I can get at least a weekly pass because I got to be able to go to the public library and hang out during the day, and I have to be able to go to the supermarket and buy myself food to eat. You know, I like I have to do that, and now I don't have my car, so I have to utilize the bus, and you know, like I said, I chose Lynn because I know this area, and the library is close to Market Basket. You know, and but I really just need to get out of this horrible, horrible situation that I'm in, this dangerous, inhumane situation before something terrible happens, you know? So thank you guys for listening.